Okay, here we are at Granville and Drake, downtown Vancouver. That's the Yale Jazz Club right there, world renowned. And Len's office is just up there. Cecil strip joint is just over there. And this is where we built the boat. It's a 15-foot inflatable, similar to a Zodiac. It's an ex-Greenpeace boat that we bought off a guy in Surrey. Basically the boat just came with a 40 horsepower Merc. Everything on the boat has been added and installed by Len and myself. This is our fuel tank. It's about 120 liters. There's the new Coast Guard approved fuel line that runs down to the back to the motor. This is a center console we modified. We had to take and cut this corner because it was too wide. 3/8 Lexan semi-bulletproof glass. Here we've got all new controls or used controls put together. We've got GPS, standard Horizon, with a chip that covers from Seattle to Alaska, Juneau, Alaska. What else we got here? We got a submersible Icon VHF. Installed all the steering, Teleflex cable. Runs sort of through some eyelets that we put on the side and into the motor. Here inside we've got all our fuses. Let's get in there because it's kind of nice. Len did a great job. It's all PVC'd and protected from the elements. Down here we got the battery box, and it's got two outlets as well, cigarette style DC outlets. Okay, a beautiful stainless steel bracket right there that's basically mounted to a fiberglass. We refiberglass the bottom of the boat. Correction, we fiberglassed a piece of plywood with bolts sticking up through it, and then attach this angle to mount the center console. Not very exciting, but it took a lot of work. This is the seat, and we couldn't find a seat we liked, so we sort of came up with this design. I don't know if it's going to work too well, but we'll see. It's just a marine cooler. And we can store a lot of good stuff in there to keep stuff dry. Once again mounted into the fiberglass. And these are the seats. They're just stadium seats you buy at Canadian Tire. I'm not sure if that is going to survive or not. Yeah.
Sorry, Dunsmuir Street, is that to the left or the right?
Dunsmuir.
Sorry about that.
You know, I honestly couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Sorry about
Thanks
that.
very much.
Commander, 3-star.
Yeah, it's about 10 o'clock and we're leaving tomorrow, so we're just getting the gear inside ready. These are the map tubes, and they've got every map of the coast on them. They're mounted to the arch. There's a nice little navigation light there. Another fuel tank, 55-liter fuel tank. There's Len right there. And a 50 horsepower Johnson. On top here we have a self-righting bag, and what happens is you pull this handle when the boat's flipped over, which then pulls that pin out and depresses a needle inside, which then releases the CO2 into the bag, and hopefully the boat will right itself. Good old Canadian flag on the back. There's a running light there. Len did a great job on the PVC. Everything's protected. Oh, the good old... We installed a power tilt. It came with a manual tilt. And there's a whole story behind that power tilt system there. A lot of work. We refiberglassed the transom, added 3/4 inch ply, and gel coated the back because we wanted to stiffen it up.
That's Blaine's awesome fiberglassing job,
Yeah.
by the way, which is totally gonna get us to Alaska.
It is, and this arch we modified as well because it was too wide. Everything's been modified, it seems. Lens mounted the power tilt connection nicely there. There's an air valve. There's 3 air valves on the boat to inflate it to 3.5 pounds of pressure. This is another tube on the side which I made for my shotgun, and it just fits so nicely in there. It's waterproof. It's PVC, not ABS, and apparently the ABS isn't UV resistant, so I went with this. And inside there, it's not in there of course because we're not ready to go yet, but it fits nicely. Let's see. All new fuel lines, all new connections. Not a lot of room, and this is without the gear. There we go, there's a green piece right there. Go backwards here. Green piece. There we go. A little bit of room up here. We're just going to use a tarp for a spray skirt up top. Fishing rod holders, not a fishing trip, but we sort of had to cut that up a little bit. And there's the local crackheads fucking around, pardon my language. Okay, so this is where we built most of the boat. There's the old motor right there, 40 horsepower Merc, and it just wouldn't cut it. It's a tiller outboard, so we wanted the controls. Somebody's scooter, and this is, you know, Len's shop for his business. It's kind of messy because, well, we've been working here for the last 2 weeks, but plywood and just junk. And just back here is most of our gear, which isn't ready to go yet. There's some dock line. There's a good old military sleeping bag. Life jackets. We got a good searchlight. Oars. Lots of gas tanks, but we sort of solved that problem. Camping stuff. Gum boots, and there's a really sort of neat anchor system that my dad put me on. It works on pulleys so that you can go ashore and pull your boat back out so that your boat doesn't get beached. And we don't have time to go through that, but it's still not built yet, but I've got all the parts and it's just about ready to go. And that's about it. So yeah, we'll have the spot going tomorrow. Still lots of oil. There's some bear spray, air horn, flares. There's some rations there, and outboard oil. So we're got all the pieces, and we'll be on the water tomorrow. Bye bye.